Let me guess, you're up to your nostrils in crap. Well, your interactive experience begins right now, making spiritual sense of headline news. Live from Internet USA, it's the Bee Sting Radio Show. With your host, Bee Sting.
How appropriate. Oh, I am officially calling today Hans Christian Andersen Day. Why? Because we figured out the emperor, he ain't got no clothes. So go get some bubble gum to pop your ears so you can hear every syllable tonight and you can think real hard. It's a new America, folks. Let's get the disclaimer out of the way immediately. This is Bee Sting Talk Radio. We're neither your minister nor are we your psychologist. We're a marketing company that sharpens focus and presents brand awareness for your soul. Consult your Bible, talk to your minister. Now, let's get on with the show. Many of my longtime listeners will remember that right now is when I would traditionally say that Bee Sting Talk Radio filters out all the white noise media presents to fog your vision, hell-bent to confuse you. Well, guess what? That media, as of this morning, is dead. Dead. You can't find a pulse. How can they live? They created the polls. They presented the polls. They argued the polls. They said that Trump didn't have a chance. How this morning, if you're Megyn Kelly, the hell do you say to the American public? How do you... What angle does the camera have to get to where Megyn Kelly's scan tag isn't visible by everybody? She is a bought and paid for shill. She is nothing less than either unknowledgeable, okay, or in a vague way, just a prostitute sitting at the bar looking for a John. She was bought and paid for and exposed. There's nothing there. She's pretty. I mean, you can't argue that. She's pretty, but she's a pretty liar. Or Megyn Kelly is dumber than your average oyster, because my God, was she wrong. And boy, was she exposed. Now, to explain me a little bit better for a lot of people, my favorite T-shirt on earth is I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. It's very difficult for me not to use profanity tonight, because that's how sick and tired I am of this evil and pernicious existence in American culture. This was nothing more than naked aggression by a propagandist or a company full of propagandists. That's all it was. And it's been exposed. If you're Rachel Maddow now, what do you say? You're going to scrunch your eyebrows up and have that I'm trying to hold 45 marbles in my butt pain looking? Oh, what is she supposed to say? I mean, the major corporations that fund her, that had her out there as their shill, then that's what she is. She's a shill. She never once said an honorable thing on any of her television shows. She was trying to sell an illusion or a delusion. That's all she does for a living. And good gosh, is alternative media. How are you going to say Alex Jones is a freaking nutcase when he was absolutely correct? Perfectly correct. Because people who are crazy are never right. They're not 90% crazy or 45% crazy or 15% crazy. Crazy people are crazy 100% of the time. Can't argue that part. So how can you call Alex Jones? How can you call other alternative media crazy when they got it better than the big boys who sold you the propaganda in mainstream media? Huh? And in a weird way, I kind of feel akin to them, because I wrote a piece about Donald Trump. Lots and lots of people saw it. It had over 16,000 shares on Facebook alone. Alan West wrote an article about my post and how dark the information would be on this election cycle if it weren't for the newfound social media like Facebook and Twitter, other outlets like that. It got shared tens of thousands of times, millions of people. So you know what Facebook did? They deleted me. They deleted my account. I'm creating activity on their brand product, but their propaganda couldn't stand the truth. So if they delete me, they delete the article, and there goes 16,000 posts, yada, yada, yada. And now Facebook's exposed. So I'm going to read a little bit of an excerpt, just one paragraph from that post I made. That Megyn Kelly, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, Washington Post, Rachel Maddow, The Huffington Post, The New York Times, Raleigh's Observer, the AP, Don Lemon, Jack Tapper, and many more, all of them failed to implement their collectively orchestrated lie on the American people. People just like you. Against Trump is actually a massive testament to Trump because the press colluded pure propaganda to accomplish his demise, and they have collectively failed, and miserably so. That's a quote from me. I'm kind of proud of that. So this morning, it's a new America. I mean, how do these shills get on TV? Why would anybody watch them except for just to create this collectively, a collective environment, a kind of a neighborhood of scorned folks who only believed a delusion to begin with, and now they want to commiserate. Because let me tell you what they're not going to do tonight on the news. They won't sit around and talk about, wow, were we wrong? We weren't any more brilliant than a collection of barnacles on a dock post. And they couldn't even win when they were throwing the polls. They had dead people voting. You know what we're not? Here's what we're not, Hillary. We're not a basket of deplorables. We are the ones that threw your ass out of office. We collectively bounced you from the bar room called politics. You and Bill and your daughter Chelsea, y'all go do something else. Let me put this in proper perspective for you. How would you like to try to raise a dime for the Clinton Foundation today? They'll be too busy trying to answer the phones. All the pay-to-play they gained profit on, they can't deliver. Hey, Hillary, guess what? Now you better worry about shooting yourself in the back 9 times and driving your dead corpse off of a cliff. You've got nations holding their hands out going, what you gonna do for me, baby? You sold it to me and you failed. You know what happens to people who sell stuff to nations, to Muslim nations, and can't deliver? They have unfortunate accidents. And look, I hope nothing happens to Hillary. I hope nothing happens to Bill or Chelsea. You know why? Because I want to see them flop around on the hot cement for a little while. And so do you. Metaphorically speaking, I want to see him dangle. I want to see him suffer. Because let me tell you something, there's no brand left with them. It's over with. They're not appealing. They don't have power. The Clinton Foundation stole money from Haitians, and we all know it. Where do they go from here? Writing books? Because let me tell you something that's not going to happen. Nobody's going to pay them $500,000 to make a speech now. They'll pay them $500,000 to get lost. Don't associate yourself with me. I don't want to be associated with you. Now, what happens to the Al Sharptons? What happens to all of the people that were given undue and unearned power by the President of the United States? What about BLM? Where are you going now? What you going to do, Al Sharpton? What are you going to do? How would you like to be Loretta Lynch today? How'd you like to be Kumi? What the hell are they going to do? They shoved it all on the line and said, I'm betting everything. And they lost. They tried to bluff their way through this poker game in Washington, D.C., and they had a 2, a 4, a 6 offsuit, and nothing else. They didn't even get to finish dealing themselves the card. How freaking embarrassing is that for them? This shows you, you know what? Let's do a visual. Let's take all the clothes off Al Sharpton and Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and Chelsea. Oh, gosh, what a vision that would be. And Loretta Lynch and James Coon. Let's put all of them on stage naked. You talk about a bunch of frail, weak human beings. Defrocked. And hey, Facebook, guess what? My radio show is on Facebook. I want all of you all to grab the address at the top of the menu here on YouTube, and I want you to paste it into Facebook, just to show that bit of censorship, your middle finger. Now, I know we're supposed to be Christian, and I know that we're supposed to be good winners. I'm not saying a word about the people who actually bought into this. All of those people that screamed in our faces and demanded respect and couldn't insult us more when they demanded respect. All those new wave feminists. Seriously. People that are so massively overweight that they're endangering their health, and yet they demand that you don't say a word that makes their body shames them. Body shames them? Dude, every once in a while, pass on a carb. I do. I'm responsible. You don't think I want to go to McDonald's every single time I get a chance and pig out on Big Macs? My gosh, I need to calm down because I'm going to tell you something. Now, we live in reality. It's now back to reality. Back to reality. Let me tell you, here's the new song. NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye. Back to reality. That goes to everybody who sold this vision that didn't have a damn thing to do with reality. And if you bought into the vision, you need to seriously consider your mental health. Seriously. Go look in the mirror. You believed these people? You believe that the weakest of sorts are supposed to be the strongest, and that's going to last. That's going to become the new ordained reality? This goes out to all the college people. You're in college. How much do you... You're in college. You're not children anymore, but you're kind of like little miniature adults. And your life is no easier because you bought into the indoctrination given to you, demanded of you by your professors. No, screw that. Forced on you by your professors and the institutions of higher learning. How freaking ironic. Those professors, nutcases, look at the vote. They're not even loosely based on reality. Neither is the educational system from the 9th grade up. How long did you think you were going to hold that torch? I'll tell you how long you're going to hold that torch. Till the 20th. When Obama leaves, you don't have anybody protecting you. You don't have anybody bolstering you. You don't have anybody demanding that you are listened to and respected. Go earn your damn respect. You want to be respected, go earn it. Nobody's going to give it to you anymore. If you've got hair colored like Fruit Loops and you've got a big ring through your nose and you're 7,500 pounds overweight, you know what you are? You're ugly to look at. It's time to face reality. Go spend the same amount of time trying to make yourself look pretty. And every once in a while, get on a freaking bike and ride around the block a few times. Fat shamed. Damn. Seriously? We're not supposed to say that the emperor has no clothes. It's the most ridiculous notion I've ever heard in my life. Where did you all come off? Surrounding yourself in, like a big blanket, pulling that protection around you as though it was going to last long. It's over. You know what? It's over. The government doesn't need to take our guns. It's over, folks. The delusion is over. So, metaphorically, here's what we're going to do. All the ones that didn't live in the delusion. Here's what you do. You grab all the Megyn Kellys and the Fox Newses and the MSNBCs and the Rachel Maddow's and the Riley News and Observer and all the liars that write articles in newspapers that are either frauds or liars or stupid. They got to be one of the three. They were that wrong. And now it's verifiable. Now, when you make eggs, scrambled eggs, and you break 4 eggs and you put them in a bowl and you just mix it around and you cook them in the frying pan, you put them on a plate, you look down. Can you tell which egg is which? Hell no. So here is what we're going to do. We're going to take all of them, like a basket of deplorables that they are. We're going to drop them in a bowl. We're going to mix them up with a fork. We're going to scramble them, and we're going to put them on a plate. We're going to take the plate over to the toilet. We're going to scoop them off into the toilet, and we're going to flush it. You know why? Because we don't need those people anymore. They're useless, valueless spots on mankind. For the first time in a long time, the good people won. And we won so resoundingly that they can't say a word. It's like we went out, and not only did we beat the team from another state, we trounced them so thoroughly that even though their referees were family members, they couldn't all beat us together. They literally don't have any power. They have been beaten so badly that they have no brand value. None. If you are Al Sharpton, what the hell do you have to sell anymore? Congratulations, folks. We did it. They didn't believe we could, but we did it. Now, show us our earned respect, and don't you say a word about it, because the masses may come after you. The next sound you hear, that's me dropping the mic and walking off the stage. I'm out of here.